Be a reason.
And the Mets played in Boston there, so
that's 20 years.
20 years.
I was in rehab.
Mets are doing very well.
I was in rehab that night. It was the first glimmer of hope I had in 6 months.
Wait, 20 years? That was June of 86?
Yeah.
86, yeah. 20 years coming this fall. It's 20 years ago they did the World Series.
Rehab, what were you, 10?
I was 15. I was in rehab. I remember,
man.
6 months before him, I was in rehab. Same
really?
thing. Yeah, January of 86.
Really? No, that was crazy.
That was my wrist.
Rehab at 15?
Your wrist opened?
Rehab at 15.
Yeah.
I was 17.
What were you doing at 15? Eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
No, I was drinking, but, you know.
Star Wars figures and putting them on your bookshelf and making sure they don't fall over?
Yeah.
I was drinking.
I was smelling the cape because it smells like plastic.
But it was, but I at 15 when you're drinking, you don't go to rehab.
Yeah,
Every 15-year-old that drinks is out of control. There's no 15-year-old going, give me a Manhattan, make it neat, and I just one. I got to get home to the wife. When you're 15, you're grabbing a bottle of Southern
Whatever's
Comfort,
around,
heading
right.
for the woods, and drinking the whole thing until you vomit. Who at 15 is like, I think I have a problem? Of course you do. You're drinking at 15.
Jesus Christ. You should have went to rehab. Boy, stop yelling at me like my second father. Jesus.
Damn you.
No wonder I went to rehab at 15.
As you were shouting, Bob just instinctively started unbuckling his trousers.
I wanted to go in the closet.
He's yelling at me.
All right. So
it doesn't matter at 15.
Wait, so let's ask these guys the question. He went to rehab at 15. Jimmy went to rehab at 17. And I'm with Anthony. Like all my friends and stuff, we were just finding what was in Dad's liquor cabinet and
Every
drinking
kid should have
until
been in
we puked.
rehab then.
Right. So what is different than that makes you go, I have to go to rehab? At 15.
I've woken up on floors of bathrooms from tequila at 15, 16 years old.
Right.
Like I was staying I didn't even have a place to live. I was like sleeping on a couch at a friend's house and just pounding tequila all night. And I woke up in the morning on the bathroom floor. No clue how I got there.
That's cute.
But that's just a 15-year-old drinking.
Right.
It's not rehab.
I woke up.
What happened?
I woke up. I mean, the same thing. I woke up one day with no underwear on a cot in my friend's living room. I didn't even know he had a cot.
Cot.
I actually
Private pile.
He found my underwear.
They hit you with soap in a sock. They should have.
He found my underwear like a month later behind his couch with a turd in it. Apparently, I dropped a deuce in my tighty whities and I just hid it behind the couch.
At least you have the sense to do that in your stupor.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you could have just slept in it, which really would have been awful.
That was really funny.
Dude, I think the difference between I mean, did you almost die? Have you been in the hospital? Did you get beat up to almost death? I mean, did you go to jail? I went to juvie jail.
I didn't personally, but I will say that when you're drinking to excess at 15, which doesn't take much,
right?
You know, things are going to happen. You're going to end up in jail. You're going to end up in trouble. You're going to get, all right, I got in fights, things like that. I wrecked a couple of cars.
Oh, wait.
Things like that. But I mean,
he got in a lot of trouble at 15, and he had no choice. So
yeah, dude, I was like,
oh, they sentenced you to rehab. All right, then you got a point.
Yeah,
if you're sentenced to rehab.
I forgot the story, but there was what was it again? You were stealing stuff.
Yeah, like unarmed robbery, assault.
Armed robbery, that's right.
How do you know you've just blown it though at 15 that you're done drinking? That's what my point. Unless you've been, sentenced to go to jail. But I mean, at 15, you can't identify that you've pretty much blown your drinking. That this is going to be you drinking at 25 or you drinking at 30. At 15, you can't. You're going to know. You're going to reach a point where I think you get a reasonable take on how much you can drink, when drinking is appropriate. Not at 15. It's every weekend with your friends till the point where you pass out.
Like I did cute stuff like that too, like your floor. I remember one time I had a butcher knife and I ran out of my house and I was walking down the street with it sticking out because I was hoping the police would shoot me. And then the other time,
that's a cute story.
The other time I called the police department in a Jamaican accent and told them to come get me, man, and put me in jail. I was in a partial blackout. And then there was perhaps the 30th wrist slicing incident where there was 18 micro stitches in my left arm. And I said I was forced into rehab and they were going to court order me if I didn't go.
Okay.
All right, there.
Point taken.
They explained themselves.
They explain it. I completely concur.
There you go.
I was babysitting one night, woke up with my pants around my ankle. Apparently, I went to go take a poo, and I passed out, and the poor kids were crying because the babysitter was
you passed out on the bowl.
Ground with my pants around my ankle.
Be careful how you explain it.
With a
we got it.
All right,
yeah, that'll never. The actual substance will never make it through.
Bob needed to use the restroom, and Bob needed to use the restroom, and his pants were down his ankles, and he passed out walking to the bathroom.
No, that's not what happened.
Oh no,
you passed out.
No, it sounds like I'm a pedophile.
Sitting on the on the bowl.
Were down before I went to the bathroom, and I'm babysitting.
You were sitting down on the bowl, and you passed out.
I hope they're dumping out in such a way right now that it makes it sound like that you really are a pedophile.
I know.
Like
that's
they
what
dumped out the part that had.
I was the only show that wants a pedophile on the show.
Well, you're talking.
I was babysitting
and
pants down
kids instead of all the stuff they dumped out that made it perfectly make sense.
I was babysitting kids, pants down, ankles.
Next thing you know,
found me. Ambulance, police.
Whole room smells like pennies.
Rehab or jail.